Hello, everyone, and welcome to our video series, Senior Moments, Reframing the Way We Talk About Aging. My name is Cathy Bollinger, Managing Director of York County Community Foundation's Embracing Aging Initiative, where we work to improve how people experience aging in York County, Pennsylvania. One of the ways we do this is by interviewing people who share how they're embracing growing older. And I am so excited for today's guest. Her name is Delma Rivera-Lytle. And many of you probably know her in the York County community. She is an advocate for equity and for inclusion and for creating welcoming spaces. And we're just so excited to have you here today, Delma. Hello.
Well, thank you so much, Cathy. This is an absolute honor for me to be here today.
There's so many things that we can talk about, Delma, but today let's focus on this role that you've been honored to serve over the last almost year, right? It's been almost a year.
In June, it will be 1 year, yes.
Yes, Miss Pennsylvania Senior, Ms. Pennsylvania Senior. So Delma, tell us about this and how this relates to embracing aging.
The reason that I love this opportunity that I've had with the Miss Pennsylvania Senior America pageant is that my lifelong passion and joy has been to be a community servant. And that is exactly what this has done. And it has been able, for me, it has allowed me to take my community service to a different level. And at the same time, showcase that seniors are the ones that also can continue to do this work. Because often we think, oh, we have this certain stereotype of seniors and that they're not vibrant, they're not out in the community, they can't take care of themselves. And my favorite quote that I've been saying during this year is, senior women rock. And I don't mean rock in a rocking chair. It's what we're doing out in the community. And that for me has been the greatest opportunity that I've had with the title.
Oh, wow. And I love that senior women rock and not rocking on a rocking chair. Yes. Great quote. So Delma, I know that, can you give me a sense of when you decided that you wanted to jump into this, how did that feel? And what were people saying to you when you said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this Miss Pennsylvania Senior program?
Although I had been involved in pageants when I was young, I had absolutely no idea that there was such a program as the Miss Senior America system. When I was approached about the pageant, I looked it up because I didn't know anything about it, and was really encouraged by someone who had competed and thought that I would be a good candidate. I spoke to the national director and I thought, this is something that I would like to do, and never dreamt that I would win and that I would have this opportunity. The mission of the pageant is to celebrate the age of elegance. And I love that, because this is an age of elegance. It's a time, in order to compete for the pageant, you must be 60 years or older. And in the state of Pennsylvania, you must be a resident and a US citizen. And the 4 areas, I thought the first thing was, oh my goodness, if there's a bathing suit, forget about it. I'm not going to do that. But it did not. It's showcasing our elegance. This is not a beauty pageant. And the 4 areas of competition are the judge's interview. You have a philosophy of life. You have an evening gown and the judge's interview. So it's the 4 areas.
I love that elegance, lifting up elegance and showing that. And, sometimes one of the stereotypes that I find that a lot of people focus on as they grow older is that they think that their worth and their value is based on what they look like, or maybe even their mobility or what they can do compared to a younger version of themselves. So I love that this focuses on philosophy of life and our wisdom and our relationships and creativity and everything that we foster as we grow older. Is there anything specific that you can share related to that kind of resonated with you as you went through this program or the pageant process?
Meeting the women at the national pageant from all across the country, I loved that these were like-minded women. And often we think we might be out on an island in the way that we think about things, the way we embrace our own aging, that there are so many of us that are not going to go into our 60s just sitting in a rocking chair and not doing anything. One thing that I really loved about the pageant that was quite exciting for me, an award was created, a National Community Service Award. There was quite a lot involved in our application process, in the essays we needed to complete. And I won the National Community Service Award. And what I think it demonstrated is that this is a huge part of this pageant, because there is so much that we can contribute. And you just learned about all the activities and programs that women are involved in, and also the way that we support one another across the country. One really exciting thing for the pageant this year, and it's just expanding on the question, is the pageant was held for the first time in Pennsylvania this year, and it was in Hershey. Normally it's been in Las Vegas and in Atlantic City, and the new owners of the pageant are from Pennsylvania. This gave me a wonderful opportunity to serve as the hostess with the mostest. The pageant was held in my state to welcome people here and to showcase what I was doing in my state.
Oh, wow, that is very cool. Also, to go back, and huge congratulations on receiving that national recognition at the national pageant, the American pageant. That's fantastic. As I mentioned at the beginning of this interview, you are always out in the community being a great servant. And like you said, that's part of the reason why you wanted to do this. So I'm very appreciative to hear that you got that recognition. And one of the other things that I really like about what you just shared, Delma, excuse me, is that the fact that you got to showcase Pennsylvania and have hosted here and help people to better understand, because even, I don't know, did you find that based on where the candidates were coming from or the representatives were coming from, that there was differences in aging, or did you find that everyone was kind of feeling as if their state or their communities were doing work and embracing aging in the same way?
Well, it's interesting that the pageant itself in different states, pageants are at a different level. The Miss Senior, I think, brought everybody at a different level, because we were senior women that were all embracing what we're doing in the same manner. And for me, it was quite intimidating to see some of these women, because they were so engaged in their community and just out there. And many of them had competed before and were aware of the system when I was not. So it was quite exciting. And one of the things we shared is the ways that all of us, obviously, we bring our own personality as well to this. And I said, I really thought that this was going to be more just doing presentations at nursing homes or just to senior groups, when this has been to everyone. One of my favorite invitations I got was to present to the Boy Scouts, to a Boy Scout troop here. They were doing work for a community service badge, and a person from the community that was involved in diversity, equity, and inclusion work had to present to them. And one of the Boy Scouts came up to me and said, you know, Miss Delma, your badge is just as important as my badge. And he was referring to his scouting badge versus, like my sash. And that is really, gives me goosebumps when I say it. It just touched my heart, because you sometimes think, oh, maybe I'm just a role model just for seniors, but they can learn a lot from us and we can learn a lot from them. And so every invitation that I can physically get to and don't have something else, I try to put myself out there to represent seniors, to represent the pageant, and just to represent my York community.
Oh, that is wonderful. And I love that example, because there's intergenerational connections really help break down misunderstandings, right, of growing older. Oh, and how sweet. Thank you. So as we wrap up here, Delma, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you'd like to share? And if someone who's watching this would like to get involved, what do you recommend? What are the next steps?
in terms of getting involved with the pageant specifically,
Mhm.
you can reach out directly to me, or you can go onto the website for the Miss Pennsylvania Senior America or to the Miss Senior America website directly. Anyone will be happy to direct you. Right now, our upcoming pageant will be held in June in Harrisburg. So there still is time if anybody is interested in participating in the pageant. And I'm one of the strongest recruiters right now. The experience and the opportunity that I have had, I want as many women as possible to partake in this.
Oh, well, thank you, Delma, for sharing your time with us and for being such a beacon of light for our local community, our whole Commonwealth, and of course, representing us so well at the national level. So thank you, Delma.
Oh, thank you so much, Cathy.
For those who'd like to learn more about Embracing Aging's work, please visit us at embracingaging.org. Thank you and make it a great day.